The 21-day deadline for SPAZA shop registration period set by President Cyril Ramaphosa comes to an end on Tuesday, the 17th of December. And some SPAZA shops were shut down due to various reasons, including non-compliance. Mr. Bheki Twala, who is the president of SA SPAZA, joins us now to further unpack this. Bheki, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to the show. So, as we understand, the deadline for the SPAZA shop registration is fast approaching. As a Township Economic Commission, are you happy with the whole process from the announcement by the President and the directive that was given?
No, thank you very much, Alicia. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. Thank you very much for having us. Yes, you know, this whole SPAZA shop issue, it's an elephant in the room. Yeah. Remember, people, knows that the deadline was tomorrow.
Yes,
the 18th.
So there's already confusion around the dates.
Yes, and then the minister this morning, and then they say now the deadline is on the 17th. You know, our problem with the whole situation, it's an issue of messaging.
Okay.
And the proper communication. But remember, the township businesses...
From which level, though, Bheki?
No, from the government level.
From national level?
Yeah, from the government level. As I said, we're looking at... We know that the deadline is the 13th, right? Now, you remember, businesses in the township, they are vulnerable. They don't understand the language because now there's a lot of misunderstanding about the registration. We needed to unpack, when you talk about the registration of the SPAZA shop, what do we mean? Because at the end of the day is when you register for a permit, there's a lot of documents that you need to get. Now people are saying, but the time is not enough and all that. That is why we're now saying the issue of engaging with the organization, the people on the ground, it's very important so that people, they get the message clear and they know what to do and where to go. But at the end of the day, if we've got conflicting messages, and then it creates, uncertainty in the townships out there. Now we're saying, look, we are happy people are registering, but it doesn't mean that when you register, you will then get your permission or your license immediately. Now, that message needs to be communicated clear. But remember, the things that you need to have in order for you to be granted the trade license or the permit, you've got a lot of documents that you need, to have, Alicia.
Let's expand on that, Bheki. I mean, have you observed any specific areas of concern, especially with any feedback that you've received on the ground from your members or those? I mean, you've just mentioned now that there was inadequate or conflicting messaging that was actually been given to you guys. So, has any of your members actually come to you guys and presented some serious facts to say this policy or in itself cannot work as the government or the president had instructed at that particular time?
No, there's a lot of people that are phoning us, finding out what is happening. Because people, they needed clear information. They needed to know what is it that they need to have in order for them to register.
Yes.
Now we needed to then, educate them, take them through in terms of what is needed, then guide them to say these are the documents that are required.
How were they operating, Bheki, initially without the proper documentation, if they were asking about it only now after the president's instruction to register?
Remember, as a country, we've dropped the ball in terms of not protecting the township economy. Now we've led people to, infiltrate
in their own devices.
The township economy, and everybody could open up a business.
It was a free-for-all.
It was a free-for-all. Now, you remember when you talk about township economy, most especially the SPAZA shop, it's a 150 to 180 billion rand market. Now, it's a market that needs to move from the informal economy to the informal economy. Now, formalizing that, it needed, a time whereby you needed to engage with the people, have the stakeholder engagement, take them through, let them understand what is needed.
And also hear your grievances as well, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I always say, Alicia, only the pot knows how hot the fire is.
Absolutely.
As the businesses in the township, we know what are the challenges, and we are the people that has the solution. That is why we always ask government to meet with us, sit with us, engage with us, because at the end of the day, we understand what are the challenges in the township, but we also understand what are the solutions. People that are running businesses in the township, you need to engage them.
True.
You need to take them through.
Yes.
Because at the end
These
of the
are
day,
our communities.
These are our communities. It's very important to take them along, take them through the process of registration. Because now people are rushing. They now think that come the 17th, if I'm not registered, then I'll shut down. Now, and then they're saying, but when do I need to get the title deed? For example, when you go to a township like Alexander, you remember they've got a problem of title deeds even today.
Yes.
Now, how are they going to get the title deed in the short space of time? How are they going to, make sure that they've got the rezoning? How are they going to maybe register, have CIPC, have bank accounts, have SARS, and all those type of things? Now, we are saying, the message is saying, no, go and apply for you to be registered.
Yes.
Meaning that's the message, to say it doesn't mean that you need to have all those documents, but you need to go and apply, get the document,
and
then
see if you qualify.
If you've got to prove that you've applied, then at least you are maybe stage 6 or 7, or we are 60% or 80%, then what happens then if we are in that space?
You know, but Bheki, this has created a lot of confusion and, of course, created a lot of tension amongst communities as well as some of the foreign SPAZA shop owners. We've heard rumors and allegations about how some South Africans have now been fraudulently registering for illegal foreigners to operate. 2 officials are alleged to taking bribes to ensure registration. In one instance, we heard that in Uguruleni, out of a total of about 1,800 of those SPAZA shops that were actually registered, only one was found to be registered by South Africans. So there's quite a lot of issues that are still inherent with this issue. And the 17th of December is not going to be, the time to have adequately addressed all these issues.
Yeah, remember, 80% of the SPAZA shop are not with us.
Yeah.
On the foreign nationals. We only have 20%. Even now, the application, the majority, the 90% of the application is foreign national. And then we need to correct it. It's application. It's not registration. It's not registration. We apply, then upon applying, we'll then check whether do you meet all the requirements.
Absolutely.
Before you've been granted the permission to run. That is why at the end of the day we're saying, South Africans, it's not right to go and register your SPAZA shop on behalf of illegal immigrants. We need to make sure that at the end of the day we refrain from doing that, because it's criminality. One of the things that we're coming up with is the township economy, business against crime and corruption, so that we start addressing those issues, because we can't really, once we want to correct the mistake that we've been doing, and then other people, they also allow those, mistakes to continue.
A very quick one, Bheki. Do you think this drive will actually address all the current issues as well as non-compliance and regulation matters pertaining to the SPAZA industry?
Yeah, it's very important. It's unfortunate, Alicia, that we had to lose our kids to be in this situation. But we are saying we need then to correct, because we've dropped the ball, the issue of enforcing the bylaws, making sure that we adhere to the rules and the regulations. We're asking the government to be intentional now about enforcing the law, because the laws are there. And they need just to enforce the laws. Then issue of inspectors as well. Make sure that we get enough inspectors to inspect. Make sure that we know whatever challenge that we have, we don't face it again. The issue of making sure that our own people understand how big this market is, for them to get into the space, because we, as SA SPAZA, we're asking them to get into the space. Tomorrow we're hosting the SA SPAZA Investment and Trade Expo at the Uruleni, because we want to engage with the people and make them understand, because we can't allow just only the government with the message. As private sector as well, we need to make sure that we also communicate the message to our business communities.
Bheki, thank you so much. And of course, we're hoping to get some report back from your engagements tomorrow there. Mr. Bheki Twala is the president of the South African SPAZA and Township Economic Commission.